welcome back and/or to the channel. Trucker Rod here with S.E.E. And how are you all doing out there in the YouTube world? It's Monday. We're back here in Draper, Virginia. Just chilling out. Started hammering at this at 2:30 this morning. Got down here, got my fuel. Figured I'd throw you all a quick video. Solar eclipse is going on today, so right here where I am at, I've got dark overcast clouds and I've got rain, so couldn't tell you much. So it's already dark, so if it's adding to it, couldn't tell you. So I had a good trip coming down, pretty uneventful. Gonna go into Roanoke tomorrow and got 3 stops there. Then I gotta head up to the northwest corner of Virginia, over here by southern Kentucky, and kick off a stop, and then along the border of Kentucky, southern Kentucky, and kick off another one. But had a pretty eventful weekend. As you saw that I recorded going out to West Virginia and back, 2 hours into the trip going out, and the caliper lost a bolt on the driver's side rear of that Ford Fusion I was driving, and it started making all kinds of clunking noises and that, because as I hit a bump it would just jump up and down. But it took me about 20 minutes to, once I stopped, to figure out what it was. I thought it was a loose shock because I had put new shocks on the back besides new brakes. So the new brakes I got, the complete caliper and bracket, because my rear brakes, the one side was seized up on the pins, and the other one had a leaky piston, so I replaced both. So somewhere along the line, when I picked that up from the parts store, it was, one of them was loose enough, they rattled out. So I lost a bolt on the side of the road on an off-ramp. Took the wheel off, I brought some hand tools in case, because I was still doing a shakedown on the car after all the suspension repair, and tightened up the one holding it on. Went back a mile, found a parts store at the next exit, and they let me use some tools. And because I couldn't get the wheel off, I had to work either through the barrels or behind the wheel. I changed the lug nuts some time back, and I didn't have the right wrench in the vehicle to take the lugs off, so they gave me a lug wrench and anything I needed there at the parts store. They had the replacement bolt there. Got going. I think I was down for a total of 1 hour and 10 minutes. So up and going, got to West Virginia, and saw family. Then on the way back, after speaking with you folks, I got about 1.5 hours from home, just past where I broke down going out with the brake caliper. The front end started clanging and banging, and like, sounds like a loose strut. So I pull off a rest area, and now I got a lug wrench, because when I got to West Virginia Friday night, I stopped at a Harbor Freight nearby the hotel and picked up a nice 4-way lug wrench that's collapsible. So this time, jacked it up, checked over, it was coming from the right front, so I pulled that wheel off, checked everything over. I couldn't find anything wrong. So I went to start putting the wheel on, and I looked at the sway bar arm. The only thing I didn't replace on the front was the link end to connect the sway bar arm to the bracket where it mounts up for the bracket of the strut. And I could see that it was that ball and socket was definitely off-centered. So I had to take it off to get the bracket off for the strut, so therefore when I turned it off, I must have loosened up all the rust scale in there. And so that's what you get when you live up north in the snow belt, in the rust belt, with all that caustic salt. So everything was just a complete turd show, to say the least, on getting the car straightened out. So when I get home this week, I'm going to replace both sway bar arm lengths and the bushings on it just to cover my butt. Otherwise, yeah, that's pretty well set. And then Sunday, I got back Saturday night. Sunday, we did our concealed carrying CPL class. As you know, we want to be carrying our pew-pews and brass and lead with us because of all the nefarious actors that have flooded across our borders. So I am just protecting my home and my life and my family. So got through that, over 8 hours of that yesterday. So on the road, wanted to talk a little bit about what I've been hearing is illegal immigrants driving semi-trucks, and this correlates with some other stuff I've been hearing, but also with our own company that I'm currently working for, is freight rates have been down because a lot of these companies have been hiring illegal immigrants, and they are either they came in or they've been here somewhat established and floating around, but they these companies have been taking advantage of these illegals by promising them, say, 50 cents a mile and not paying them on loads. And if they're, you know, and they're like, if you don't do it, or they're working the snot out of them, but if you don't do it, we'll call immigration. And they also have been doctoring the logs the companies have so they can keep them out there and pushing the loads, driving more, you know, well past the legal limit. So some of these companies, they're getting caught, and there was a snitch. Someone called in, I want to say immigration, INS. So they went out and investigated. So I think whatever company this is, they got busted. But, you know, that's the kind of crap corporations are doing to not only these people that are coming here, and I'd say a small percentage is you know, trying to come here and do a better way of life. The rest of them are just looking to do harm, in my eyes, my opinion. But the other thing is there's a lot of companies, there's been accidents and such where CDL, commercial drivers, especially if you want to say foreigners, but we have seen this ourselves where people are dropping dirty on their drug screening. We as commercial drivers have to do a drug screening every 2 years for our medical DOT card, and then we are in the clearinghouse. We get random drug screens. There's times in a quarter of a year, 3 months, I can get 2 or 3 random screens pulled out of the hat and have to go and all that jazz. But we have had people apply to work here, have dropped dirty on a, you know, for narcotics or whatever they're taking in their drug screening, and others have bad MVRs, motor vehicle records. So to me, hearing this is, what the hell are you guys thinking out there? If you are going to be in a very safety sensitive job that requires you to have drug tests and drug screening, that you know you're going to drop dirty because you're going to get that drug screen for pre-application, you know. And if you have a lot of violations and moving violations, accidents, whatever, in your driving record, wouldn't you want to get that cleaned up, get an attorney, or wait your time and let those fall off? But these people think it's just hunky-dory and that's fine. I myself, as a business owner, but if I owned a trucking company and you drop dirty, there's the door, take the train. That will not happen. I'm not going to put other people, like co-workers, let alone people out on the road and their families, at harm because someone's either taking some kind of prescription drug, hard narcotic or even marijuana, you're under the influence regardless. This is not a job for you. Let's just cut that right out. Any more than don't think of trying to be a train engineer or an airline pilot. Let's just say if smoking weed, doing drugs, and playing video games is your cup of tea, then this here is not the job for you. I hear fast food and some restaurants out in California paying $20 an hour probably be a better fit. You can change the trash can liners out there. So anyhow, we are 5 subscribers away to hitting our goal right now of going live. That's coming up in close to a week and a half. We'll be on the road. So if any of you and all of you that make it to this point in the video, please like these videos. Just hit that like button. It just helps get it out there, pushes this video out a little more, gets so it gets recommended to more viewers. And if you know anyone that just gets us subscribed to the channel, like to bring definitely way more content, more in-depth content as we go into this slowdown. What I'm doing here, I can focus more onto the channel and other things. But for now, nothing going on with the solar eclipse. Having a great day. I'm gonna probably chime in with y'all maybe in a day or two, but really appreciate you being here. Like I said, like, share, and subscribe. Help us get growing, and we will be talking to you soon, continuing educating and stay knowledgeable. And folks, by all means, stay safe out there. We want to see you next video.